while. So I wanted to kind of start all of this off by catching you up on where I'm at in my life and what's going on right now. So basically, my husband and I moved to Iceland from the US, is where we grew up, it's been almost 6 months ago. We moved here in August of last year. And I found it really funny before we moved here. You know, we've been planning this for a while. We were telling some people about it, and then whenever it finally happened, and we were telling people, okay, we were moving to Iceland, like this is going to happen, and here's what's going on. I got asked a lot of questions about like why. Well, why are you moving to Iceland? Like, where is Iceland? What is there, and why would you leave the US, and why would you go? Like, why wouldn't you just travel? I don't get it. And in a way, I totally understand that, especially for people who maybe haven't done as much travel or haven't lived outside of their country. It is kind of a confusing concept, and I think it also scares people, so I totally understand it. But it's one of those things where once you hear it over and over and over again, like it gets to a point where I just wanted to be like, well, why not? Why not do it? But I mean, for everybody out there, the real reasons, like on paper, was we wanted to go to school. So my husband had just finished up his degree. I had finished up mine about a year prior. And we'd been wanting to live outside of the US for a long time. Basically, it had been about a 5-year goal whenever we studied abroad in undergrad, and came back and absolutely loved our experience. Realized how much it had changed us, and had made kind of a pact with each other, like we're gonna live outside of the US at some point. We're not sure when, but we're gonna make this happen. And with me finishing up grad school and him getting ready to finish up grad school, you know, it seemed like a really good time. So he decided, okay, well, we wanted to do this for a while. Why don't I look into postdoc programs? That might be the easiest way for us to move and live outside of the US with immigration and everything. So we did. And got in. And then I decided, okay, well, I'm going to go back to school as well. And I had been doing social work, which I thought why don't I do some more social work? Unfortunately, the university here, the social work programs are in Icelandic, which I don't speak. So I looked into English speaking programs and found that they had political science programs, which is a side interest of mine. You know, while social work is my main thing, yoga's, also one of my main things. Political science and policy work, it's kind of been the side interest for the past couple of years. So I applied to one of the political science programs and got in. So here we are. We came here to study, to do some more exploration, but that's kind of the on paper reason, what allowed us to come here with immigration and everything. But one of the real reasons is that we just wanted to live outside of the US. We wanted the challenge. We wanted to experience something else. And that's, ever since we lived outside of the US prior, that's what we wanted to do. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. So one of the big things for me with traveling is that I actually feel like it can be really healing in a way. And, as a social worker and both a yoga instructor, one of my main focuses was in trauma. And being a trauma survivor myself, and traveling and living abroad and these kind of things, I actually feel like, along with many things, that travel has been something that has helped me heal. And I know that it doesn't always seem like they go together, like healing from trauma and travel, but I totally feel like they go together. So here's the connection for me. So when we think about trauma, and having gone through something traumatic, whether that be, like a car accident or, sexual abuse, or like an abusive relationship, or like a really traumatic medical procedure, anything like that leaves us feeling disempowered and out of control, which is typically what happens with any kind of trauma. You feel like you don't have control over it, and you end up not feeling like you have control over yourself because of what has happened. And other things come along with it, like feeling as though you're not worthy or you're not capable. Some people even feel like, like my body has betrayed me, or the world is a terrible place. All of these things come along with trauma. And with traveling, I actually feel like it gives you the opposite. So when you travel, specifically if you move outside of your own country, so you're moving outside of your home and out of your comfort zone, you're constantly pushed outside of your comfort zone. You're constantly challenged. And I mean, if I think about whenever we first moved here, I mean, it was challenge after challenge after challenge. I mean, the majority of Icelanders do speak English, but the primary language is Icelandic, which we don't speak any of at the time, other than like 3 words. So, we had trouble communicating in the beginning and feeling almost like we were an outsider because we don't speak the native language. A lot of the products are in Icelandic, or even like Swedish or German or something like that because of importation. We don't speak those languages, so it was a challenge even just to grocery shop. Dealing with immigration and getting like set up there, dealing with trying to get an apartment in a foreign country, getting set up with the university, and getting a bank account, and getting like a job, all this stuff. You're challenged after like time and time again. And to me, that whenever you're able to remove yourself from your comfort zone, plant yourself in a brand new environment, and deal with all of these challenges over and over and over again, you prove to yourself that you're capable, that you're powerful. You empower yourself to do things that are really, really hard and really challenging, and things that might bring a load of anxiety and stress. And you're able to rise above that and make a life in this new place. So that's one of the biggest things for me, is that it brought back some of my power and my capability, and I proved to myself essentially that I was capable of doing really, really hard things, and I was capable of doing a lot of things that a lot of people don't do. The second thing is that I think travel in a lot of people's minds seems almost like this magical thing in a way, especially for people that don't get to travel very often or don't get to travel far. And it's almost like it's something for like other people, or people that have better lives or something like that. And in a way, that like I get that, because it does cost money. But if you're able to allow yourself to travel and to see things and go places and have experiences, whether that is far or close, I don't think that necessarily matters. But having those experiences shows you that you're worthy of having those experiences, that you as a human being are worthy of having fun, having adventure, traveling, seeing things, having all these like amazing experiences and forming all these amazing memories. And that to me totally counteracts this belief with trauma that we're unworthy, that we're maybe worthless. And instead it shows you that you're totally worth it. You're totally worth the investment it takes to get yourself out of your comfort zone and get yourself into these new places, to have experiences and form memories and see things. So that's my little tangent, I guess, on trauma and travel. And I totally think that if you're somebody who is struggling with trauma, that yes, you should absolutely see a therapist. You should do things like movement, maybe yoga, and treat your body right, and do some of the things that we typically think of when it comes to healing. Like therapy and yoga were 2 of my primary ways that I healed. Travel just came along with it, and it was something that I wasn't expecting that wasn't why I traveled. But if you're somebody who's struggling with it, and maybe you've done some of these other things like therapy or yoga or movement or expression therapies in some way, and maybe you're getting there but you're struggling or something like that, maybe try traveling. And if you don't want to leave your country, just do some traveling in your country and see things, and give yourself the space to be worthy and to feel as though you're worthy of having, like, you're worth it to have those experiences, and you're worth it to save up and plan and go and do these things. Maybe take a friend with you, or your partner, or whoever, but try it out and see how you feel afterwards. Maybe come home and journal about it, how you feel having had those experiences, and like how it maybe changed you. Maybe it won't, but I bet it will. So if you like this video, please follow along, comment below, hit the like button. If you're interested in more along the lines of me in terms of trauma and yoga and mental health and more of what I was doing as a social worker, I have a blog. It's kellycarmichaelyoga.com, and I have a blog over there, and I talk a lot about this crossover between mental health and yoga, and how it's helped me, and also like education, things like that. If you're more interested in terms of travel and just daily life, I'm going to be putting out more posts about Iceland and life here. I have a personal blog that's just kacarmichael.com. Lastly, I have an Instagram account. It's _authentic_yogi, or yogini rather. If you're interested in both of those things, travel, yoga, mental health, daily life, all the funs and crazy things, I do both on there. So head on over, check me out, like this video. Thank you so much for following. I love you all. I can't wait to do another video, and I will see you soon.